Next news, breaking news.
Tonight, the gloves are completely off. President Donald Trump is turning up the heat on Barack Obama with a direct accusation that is already sending Washington into a panic. After newly highlighted intelligence-related material and explosive statements from the Trump White House, the battle over the Russia hoax is roaring back to life in a way the establishment never wanted. Karoline Leavitt says the Obama team worked behind the scenes to sabotage President Trump before he even took office, and now Trump is saying there is incontrovertible evidence that Obama was at the center of it all. The question tonight is simple. Was the biggest political dirty trick in modern history coordinated from the very top? I'm going to tell you why this matters to every American, because the issue here is bigger than an election. It's bigger than the president. It's bigger than a party. If intelligence was twisted for politics, then the system meant to protect the republic was used as a weapon against the voters themselves. That means your vote was not just challenged by partisan spin on cable news. It was targeted by people inside the government who believed they had the right to overrule the public. And according to Karoline Leavitt, the new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, confirms that the former Obama administration manufactured and politicized intelligence and used it to justify baseless smears against President Trump. You and I, we lived through years of chaos, division, leaks, investigations, and media hysteria built on the complete Russia collusion lie. Trump says it consumed the country for 5 years, undermined a duly elected president, sabotaged an administration, and even framed a 3-star general. If that's all true, then this was not politics as usual. It was an assault on our republic itself. And while we're talking about taking back control from the political class, there's another major America First fight that's unfolding right now in our own backyard. This breaking news from the White House: they just announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chains and named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. I've been to the Vizsla copper site, the one in Canada, myself. I've held the core samples. I have been to the drill sites. Seen it with my own eyes. But what's happening right now in Alaska is bigger than most people realize. That's the sister site. You see, President Trump just unveiled Project Vault. It's a $12 billion strategic minerals reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America strong against foreign dependence. Vizsla Copper is right in the middle of that story. This is exactly the kind of America First development that should reshape domestic mining and supply security. Now, Vizsla Copper, make note of this, they trade in the United States under VCUFF. It's on your screen. And in Canada is VCU.V. Check the exclusive briefing only for Next News viewers. Linked below for the full breakdown. Now let's get back to the political firestorm that has Democrats sweating bullets tonight. See, this is the part that makes it even more explosive. President Trump's not hinting anymore. He's naming names. In longer statement, Trump said that Comey, Brennan, Clapper, Rice, even Joe Biden, all tied to meetings where Hillary Clinton's plan to link Trump to Russia was discussed, and then came another jolt. Trump sharing Elon Musk saying that there will be consequences for those who push the foreign interference hoaxes. That's not a casual message. It sounds like accountability. That phase may finally be starting. And we have this too. Is this the best Barack can do right now? Left off the list. Former Obama White House advisor Valerie Jarrett said President Trump has not been invited to attend the opening ceremony of the Obama presidential dumpster in June. She added that once it opens to the public, should President Trump want to come and tour the center, President Obama would be delighted for him to do so. Yeah, nobody cares about that dumpster that Barack Obama is building in Chicago. So that's the Obama world giving Trump the cold shoulder. Now the gloves come off. Here's what Karoline Leavitt had to say.
Matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many others. Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agencies at the time. The Russia hoax was a blatant lie, all ginned up by Democrat political operatives that were signed off on by then President Obama and leaked to the news media to launch a years-long witch hunt against President Trump and his first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets, and some even had their lives destroyed because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it, and endless resources, time, and political capital were spent having to debunk these lies from the highest levels of our government. Now, nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by Director Gabbard, the truth has finally come to light. And this truth vindicates President Trump, his family, and his many allies and associates who were smeared with defamatory lies. President Trump was right from the beginning about all of this, and we are grateful that justice can be served. Now, we have even more damning evidence implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president and did grave material harm to our republic. Thanks to additional important work done by CIA Director Ratcliffe, Committee Chairman Rick Crawford over the past few months, a newly declassified 2020 report prepared by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which DNI Director Gabbard has declassified, found that the intel community did not have any direct information that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help elect President Trump in 2016. And in fact, Russia was actively preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But
that's directly from the White House, Karoline Leavitt naming the players. And then President Trump posting a bomb on Truth Social just hours ago. It was a post. It was a snapshot of a post from Elon Musk saying there will be consequences for those who pushed foreign interference hoaxes. Obama and Pelosi should be very worried. This is the post that he made.
Hyenas.
I love this.
They're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody. Runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.
Yeah. President Trump posting that, sending a very strong coded message, turning the pressure up on the people who sold the lie to the country. And then he made this, makes a post on Obama that says, Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. That is a direct quote from the President of the United States. Quantum Guard writes, I'm still trying to process what just happened. The highest-ranking U.S. intelligence official just released smoking gun docs proving that Obama and his underlings committed treason and sedition. Meanwhile, Trump was right about everything. The news is fake. The deep state is real. meaning that all of us conspiracy theorists were right about the conspiracy against Trump and it wasn't a theory. Meaning the shadow war is real and all our efforts over the past 10 years were not part of a LARP. Meaning that we're not crazy, we were right. It was all real. This is the post, the snapshot of that True Social post. In case you didn't believe me, yes, he did post this. This is President Trump posting again last night. He posted this video as well. Obama exposed. President Trump posted this. This should shake every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was a spearhead of the seditious conspiracy. President Trump posting this, guys. This is what he just posted. Listen.
Shake every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. We must, absolutely must, hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history. James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting in July 28th in the Oval Office. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years. It undermined a sitting duly elected president. It sabotaged administration. It framed a three-star general. It destroyed and ripped this country apart. We had a constitutional crisis, the likes of which I don't think any American can fully comprehend. It is atrocious, and every single one of them must be held accountable.
President Trump posted that, guys. What do you think he's trying to say? Oh, and by the way, that, Mr. Ruddy, in case you're watching, or your minions, that's called fair use. All right? And the President of the United States posted it, so it's now in the public domain. President Trump, man, sending the messages we've all wanted to hear. See, for years, Trump supporters were mocked. We were censored and smeared for saying the Russia story was a fraud cooked up by political insiders, amplified by corporate media, and carried by a permanent Washington machine desperate to stop an outsider president. And now the Trump administration is putting that claim back at the center stage with force. Trump says Barack Obama was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people in 2016. Whether formal charges come tomorrow or months from now, the establishment's old defense is crumbling. The real scandal was never Trump. The real scandal was the operation launched against him and against the presidency and against the voters who sent him there, against you and against me. If you need one more sign of how deep the tension runs, even the Obama Presidential Center opening has become a symbol of it. Valerie Jarrett says President Trump was not invited to the opening ceremony. But she said Obama would be delighted to let him have a tour later. That tells you everything. They still want the optics of civility after years of trying to wreck the man the American people elected. President Trump's not backing down, and neither should the American people. If there was a coordinated effort to kneecap a presidency before it even began, then accountability is not optional. It is absolutely necessary. So do you believe the people behind the Russia hoax should finally face consequences, yes or no? Let me know in the comments and share this report everywhere. Subscribe if you are done letting big tech decide what you get to see, and text raw feed to 844-840-4963 for direct updates to your phone from me. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Stay loud, stay proud, and keep fighting for the truth.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.